Well, thank you so much for staying with us, and thank you to Bull Country Compost for sponsoring our show today. We do carry the Bull Country Compost in the bags as well as bulk. The bags weigh 40 pounds. They're about a 2 cubic foot bag. So you're going to need about 14 bags to make a cubic yard. And it is a product, if you have some bad soil, it's a great amendment for that. If you need a mulching material in your gardens to help hold in moisture or suppress weeds, it's a great product for that. It's great to mulch in around your annuals. It's very finely ground, so it's not harsh on those little herbaceous stems. Bull Country Compost is one of the best products I have ever used. I put it up and stand it up against any large commercially produced compost out there, and at a much better price point. So just wanted to give them an extra little kick and thank them for sponsoring our show again. So if you are having questions and you would like to have them answered, please do so on our Facebook page, Anthony Petitti Organic Greenhouse, emailing me at cindypetitti@gmail.com, or calling at 330-455-5997, or stopping in at the store at 5828 Columbus Road. We are right there on the corner of Columbus Road and Broadway in Nimishillen Township. So we have a few more questions. Had some ladies in this week, and they had questions about their fruit trees. They wanted to know what they should fertilize with, and we always recommend the tree tone for that. And these are for your fruit trees that are outside, planted in the ground. For your fruit trees that are indoor fruit trees like your citrus, then we are recommending citrus tone. So on your orange trees, tangerines, grapefruits, limes, lemons, all of those you're going to use the citrus tone. But on all of your apple, peaches, pear, apricots, plums, all of those, you're going to go ahead and use the tree tone that you would use on your other trees as well. So they were having some issues with their trees. They've had some worms in the past, and they've also had some diseases on their fruit trees as well. So they were wondering what product would be best. So if you are dealing with both insects and diseases on different fruit trees, we recommend the Orchard Spray by Bonide. It is great because it controls both, an organic product labeled for organic gardening, but this one product will take care of both issues for you. Now, if you're only dealing with a really bad disease, then we would recommend the copper fungicide, and that would be for everything but your grapes, which that we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But for your fruit trees, it's going to be great to do the copper fungicide, or you could do sulfur as a fungicide as well. But if you are dealing with a little bit of both, the insects and the diseases, we would recommend the Orchard Spray. It does have the sulfur in it, but it also has insecticide in it. So this is going to be the product that you're going to want to use. If you have several trees or large trees, we do sell it in a concentrate, quart and pint. We also have it in a hose end, which is convenient if your fruit trees are close to you. If they're close to the house, you can just attach your hose right onto it. The sprayer is calibrated to pull the right amount of material as the gallons of water comes through your hose and through the attachment. It's very easy to do, no measuring. It's very simple. But a lot of times our fruit trees aren't real close to the house, and so we need to, have a different way to spray our product on there. So that's when a pump-up sprayer or a boom sprayer attached to your tractor or something is what you have to use. In that case, that's why it does come in that wonderful concentrate that you can use to control all of those. Next, we're going to jump right into the grapes. And grapes they're a very high maintenance plant. Some people, I have to say, they're like, I never have any problems at all with my grapes. And I remind them to count their blessings, because most people have some great issues when growing grapes. And And if you're one of those that just grows grapes for the leaves, then you don't have so much to worry about. But if you are growing grapes to actually have grapes so that you can make your own jelly, make your own wine, make your own grape pies, then you want those grapes to come to fruition. You want to use sulfur for your disease issues. And I have to say, grapes have more disease issues than they do insect issues, but sometimes those Japanese beetles, jumping back to that, they will have some issues with the Japanese beetles. So sulfur is going to be your go-to because, like I said, most of you have disease issues. I really like to spray the grapes as soon as you have full leaf out, and then spray consistently. If you have had issues in the past, I say spray every 3 weeks or after every heavy rain. So if you spray one day, and when we have 4 or 5 days of nice temperatures and everything is well, and then all of a sudden we have a really hard rain, or even an all-day light rain. So if it lasts, if we have a light rain that lasts an hour or two, you're usually fine. But if we have one of those rains that lasts all day long, or if we have really heavy rains where on the radar it was yellow or red, those are really, really hard rains. And after that type of a rain, you want to respray so that you still have coverage and protection on your grapes so that you don't get this disease. Some people were in this week having this issue, and they said they already have tiny grape formation on their grapes, on their plants. So in that case, definitely get started and be consistent. And some people, if you have had lots and lots of problems, I would say go back to even 2 weeks, every 2 weeks spray, and then in between the rains as well. Let's hope that we have a nice year and we don't have a lot of weather issues and things like that. But let's be upfront and attack this before it becomes a problem, because once it starts, controlling it is really, really difficult. It's so much easier. And this is even chemically, even if you are someone that isn't organic like we are, it is really hard to control chemically even once you have this started. So if you can do prevention, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Remember that. And so try to get that prevention done so that you don't have the issues. The next issue is with our vining crops, our cucumber beetle and our squash vine borer. So these are issues that it seems like everyone that grows these crops have. And there are some little tips that will help. Remember, prevention is the best way to go. So on your cucumbers and your squashes, and I'm talking all your squashes, your zucchini, acorn, butternut, spaghetti, and even your pumpkins, because the pumpkins are going to get the squash vine borer as well. Once you have the plant established, and that means a root system established in the ground, I think that you should cover the area, the stem, and an area out around 3 inches from the stem with diatomaceous earth. And then I recommend also mulching around that plant with Bull Country compost. Not only is the Bull Country compost going to feed the plant, it is going to help with the borer not wanting to get so close to the stem. But I also recommend spraying the stem and the bottom of your leaves about every 7 days, and sometimes 5 to 7 days, and in between heavy rains, with the Captain Jacks. Captain Jacks is going to kill the eggs, and you can catch, if you're doing it this often, you can catch them while they're still eggs before they go into that larva stage, because the squash borer, it doesn't do the damage until the pupa stage is boring out of the plant. So if you can kill them at the egg stage, that's that much better, and you will have less headaches. So spraying the bottom of those leaves with neem oil or Captain Jacks, a spumosid product, is going to really, really help you be able to control those. And this is going to be the same with your cucumber beetle. Again, once the plant is established, rooted in, cover the stem and the ground with diatomaceous earth, mulch it with Bull Country compost, and then spraying every 5 to 7 days with the neem oil or the Captain Jack's. Exactly the same way. Completely two different insects, but going to be controlled the same way. And remember, the bottom side of the leaf, always the bottom side of the leaf. That's where the eggs are laid, and that's where you need to spray. It's not an easy task. It really isn't. For cucumber borer also, if you're growing small cucumbers, or you always harvest when they're small, growing them on a tomato cage or on some type of a trellis, it helps those leaves to be up higher so that they are easier to spray the bottom side than if they're on the ground. The squashes, that's a little bit harder to do because they're heavy, and a lot of times the stems aren't strong enough to hold up that heavy fruit when they're on a trellis. Sometimes you can hold them up a little bit, but it makes it a little bit harder to spray the bottom side of the leaf when they're spread out, for 8 feet around the garden, and you're trying to lift up every one of those leaves and spraying. But these are some great tips to control the squash vine borer and the cucumber beetle. Well, here we are, about at the end of the show. Wanted to remind you, we have still your vegetable plants left, some beautiful flowering plants as well. We do offer delivery and curbside service still, and we want you to come out this last weekend of May, and enjoy the greenhouse, get all the things that you need for your garden, your landscape, because we do have beautiful landscape plants as well, and everything that you need for your lawn. We have organic controls for weeds and diseases and insects for your lawn, and also wonderful organic fertilizers. So please come on out and visit us this week. This weekend, we'll be there today until 4, and tomorrow from 11 to 3. Our weekly hour is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Sorry for anyone that showed up at the store this past Monday. Late in the day, we did close a bit early, so that some of our staff who's been working a lot was able to take the afternoon off. But thank you so much for being with us, and have a blessed week.